up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey! Oh! Hey!
Wake up, wake up.
Oh! No, really, can I have some coffee?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's Friday, March 3rd.
Good morning, we're back.
And we promised you a new look, a brand new look. I'm on the right,
Yeah,
and he's on the left.
it's really stressing me out.
He's really into it. Do you want to move back?
Yes, let's move back,
all right,
okay.
hold on, just 1 second.
Yeah, one sec.
Don't cross your thing with my
Okay, Oh, that's just better. So much better. Honestly, it really does.
He was starting to sweat.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys, we missed you. It's Friday, March 3rd. We've been gone for 6 weeks. Well, we haven't been gone. We just haven't been doing this show.
Yeah.
We've been here. Well, he's been in Boston.
Yeah. No, we had done a show or two since I had been starting to spend some time in Boston, but I've been kind of splitting my time in P-Town about 3 days a week, in Boston about 4, and I drive back and forth every week, and it's great.
Yeah.
I really like it. It makes days I'm in Provincetown a lot more, I don't want to say more enjoyable, like I'm excited to be here.
Good. You should be able to be here. Now it's your happy place. Now that you're a Boston person, Providence is your happy place rather than home.
No, it's the opposite. All the Boston people who come to P-Town, where this is their happy place, I go to Boston, it's my happy place.
Boston's your happy place. That's where you got this.
Yeah.
Cute new clothes for the winter.
Well, I've been doing a bit of shopping since I've been in Boston, and it's because it's been so long since I've had to look cute in cold weather. Because when I first moved to P-Town in 2016, the first few winters I spent them in warm places. I was in Key West, I was in Palm Springs, so I was just continuing my summer wardrobe to those places. And then the past few winters that I've been here, I don't exactly feel the need to look cute. I just wear the
Because
same.
no one sees you except for us.
Exactly. So I just wear like the same jeans and sweatshirt every single day. But now that I'm in Boston, I feel it's fun to look cute again.
Good.
So I've done a bit of shopping.
You're glowing. It might be all the new lights.
Right. Yeah. If we look extra, I don't want to say extra gorgeous because we're a little more high def now, and we might actually look much worse.
Do not zoom, Ethan.
Since we're in high def, you can see this zit, and the other one. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. But we have a new camera. We have a new tripod. We have new lights. There's other new things on the way that didn't quite make it. This is going to be our last show with this desk that our trusty desk that we've had for 3 years now.
Old unfaithful.
Honestly.
Unreliable.
We've loved it.
The old unreliable.
We're excited. Our good friend Charlie is in the process of constructing us a new desk, and it will 99.9% be here next Friday.
If you don't follow Charlie on Instagram, I believe it's Charlie Builds.
Yeah.
And he does.
He's a really good handyman. He took our idea of what we wanted for a desk and really made the most gorgeous and practical and amazing thing that I could imagine.
And it's arriving imminently.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we have a really fantastic show for you today.
Yeah.
Not just because it's the first one in a long time, but we got to go to the East End Market and talk to Ori about when they're coming back, which is going to be in the next few days. Maybe next weekend.
Yeah. Yes. Soon. Very soon. Imminent. Obviously, when you're doing things like this, that final push is really challenging. She's beginning to get orders in for stock. She's getting all the final things in place. She had an uphill battle, so.
We talked to her about a week ago, and there were floors and walls, and it's a long uphill climb.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, I'm coming back on Monday, and then come back on Wednesday. So she's,
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a fluid opening date, but check back, just look every day this week to see if she's open, because one day she's just going to be open, and it's going to be this week, and you're going to want to get in there.
Yeah, everyone should go in and buy stuff.
Yeah, who else do we got today?
We also have João Santos coming in to perform one of his new songs. He released a double song EP last week called Close Your Eyes with two of your favorites. He's performed both these songs on stages in Provincetown before, but these are the first time they're available on streaming services, so he's going to come in and perform one of those later.
And he toured with some of this stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he was
he's been up and down the coast with these.
Yeah, killing it.
Are we going to get to talk to him after he sings?
No.
Oh, João.
He was like, I'm just singing, right? I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Aww.
Yeah.
And we have a brand new segment with our brand new weather girl,
Yeah.
who we will reveal momentarily.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I'm really happy that she's doing this. It's a fun new addition to the show.
Yeah. Actually, do we want to do weather now?
Should we?
Yeah. And then we'll get into our news stories. So after that, I did 10 sleighs while we were away. We've missed so much. Usually I am so abreast of everything that's been going on, and I haven't been. Like, literally, I'm used to checking news sites constantly to get stuff to talk about on the show, and I literally just like didn't for a month.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice to be blissfully ignorant to the world.
Unplugged.
And in the past few days, as I've been collecting stories, I am once again sad at the state of the world. So,
Yeah, it's crap out there, but here, the weather in your neck of the woods.
yeah, let's.
Hello, thank you so much, Bob and Harrison. It's me, Anne Hutchinson, and I am deeply excited to be Wake Up in Provincetown's weather correspondent. Yes, if you don't know who I am that person who performs outside every day. So in 2023, I said I'm taking my destiny into my own hands, and I am just going to declare the weather as a weather Anne. Yeah, it's kind of like a weather man, except I actually know what the weather's going to be in Provincetown because I'm a fucking witch. Anyways, I hate to really disappoint anyone or get anyone anxious or anything like that, but with me you're going to get the full range of New England weather, global warming or not, and because I don't know how long they'll actually have me doing this little gig, we're going to get winter weather out of the way first today, so don't all go down to Land's End Hardware all at once, but here we go. Today we are going to have severe icing, yes. Today we are having severe icing. There it is. I'm going to tell you my centuries-old recipe for severe icing today. So the first step is you go to the store and you buy the icing. Don't get anything, expensive. You want it to be real watery to, absorb the severity of it. So there you go. And before we go any further, I do just really want you to see the finished product. I want you to get all sorts of excited. So try and zoom in on that right there. Look at the severity in that color. I mean, is it radioactive? Is it Anne's heart chakra? We'll never know if that's radioactive. No man ever wants to come near that. Okay, so for me, my main ingredient, and you could really add whatever you want to make it severe, my main ingredient is antifreeze. Yes, just so no one gets hurt, I like to put the antifreeze right in to the icing. So we have that, and like most of you at home, I carry it around in a portable bottle. So you just kind of spray as much as you can in there. Yeah, there it is. Till it reaches that level of atrocity that you want. And you just mix it right in there. Oh dear, sorry. Anyways, there you go. And sometimes they say that salt helps with icing. So we've got, you can zoom in on this, because of where we are today in Provincetown, we have sea salt from CVS is really what that means. And you just put a little bit in there. Again, a lot of people say salt helps with icing. I think icing just goes away when it wants to. But let's just keep trying to control nature. It's gotten us this far. Anyways, Bob and Harrison, thank you so much again, and back to you.
Be the death knell.
Yeah, it actually was good. So much fun.
We're just gossiping.
Yeah. You gotta pay extra for the gossip, though. So we hope to have Anne back every week as our brand new weather girl. That's gonna be so much fun.
She's the icing on the cake, honestly. I love her so much.
Yeah.
And she'll be back this summer doing her tours.
Of course.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What happened? What's going on?
We've been gone for about a month and a half, so I put together some things that have happened. A lot of them have happened fairly recently, and some of them have happened farther in the past, so let's get going. Number one, the NAACP Image Awards were this past week, and one of my favorite things that happened at the event was Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade accepted the President's Award at the 54th Annual NAACP Image Awards, and they used that opportunity to speak up about the intersection of Black rights and also trans rights, as well as LGBTQIA plus rights. If you don't know, Dwayne Wade has a trans daughter, and which Gabrielle Union is their stepmother, and they speak out often about supporting this, and I think especially in spaces like that, it's super important. Dwayne Wade spoke specifically directly to his daughter Zaya, and he said, "Zaya, as your father, all I've wanted to do is to get it right." He said he admired her for her bravery and how gracefully she has taken on the public scrutiny as a child. And then Gabrielle Union then took the mic to praise the NAACP for their work in advancing the lives of Black people. And then she added, "In a new era that demands our collective answer to one simple question, will we fight for some or will we fight for all of our people?" To which the crowd answered with shouting and applause. It was really beautiful. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I would Google it. It was a beautiful speech.
I haven't watched it yet, but Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade are officially cooler parents than Cher.
Wow.
Cher was not this cool to Chaz Bono.
It was a different time.
They're cooler than Cher.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wow.
Sorry, gays.
Them are fighting words.
Sorry, gays.
Next, this past week, we've been following the George Santos controversy over, he is the fairly newly elected congressman from New York. He is a conservative Republican and also a gay man.
And a booger drag queen.
Well, a big part of the Republican platform as of lately is demonizing drag performers. So when you see things like this, it's a little, it's clearly hypocritical. And over this past week, drag performer Meatball, she's an LA-based drag queen. Such a good drag name, Meatball. I live for that.
And this was funny.
Yeah, she did a really incredible performance at Sasha Velour's Nightgowns, which is Sasha's monthly show in New York. She performed as George Santos to This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. Yeah, interspersed with different interview clips of George Santos. And she started in drag as George Santos, blue conservative suit, the whole thing. And then throughout the course of the number, transformed into Kitara Rivachi, which is George Santos's drag name.
Alleged drag name. He swears that's not him.
He said he said he's not a drag queen, but he has participated in the before.
As Kitara?
As Kitara.
Okay, so he admits that's a picture of him now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me
Just to be clear.
Yeah. So Santos is currently trying to keep a low profile as he is under multiple investigations, and he also relinquished his committee assignments due to the scandals. And since then, this video has gone viral and been viewed over 1 million times, so I'm glad his hypocrisy is being once again forced into the public eye.
Well, he's like finally starting to a little bit have to answer for it.
Yeah.
Like for the first 6 months or so, he was like, "That ain't me. I'm not stepping down. This is me."
I mean, that's like one of the most benign lies that he told over the course of his campaign and now term.
Yeah, kids. The
Yeah.
heave-ho.
Yeah.
New York.
On the opposite end of the spectrum of politics. So Senator Michaela Cavanaugh, if you haven't been paying attention, there is bills that are happening in Nebraska and all over the country, but this story specifically comes out of Nebraska, which is plans on making gender-affirming care for young trans people illegal. And Senator Michaela Cavanaugh, she is a Democrat from Omaha. She has vowed to keep a filibuster going to stop this bill from passing. And when she got up there and she's like, "Just so everyone knows, I'm going to make this hell for everyone," which I think is awesome. So she promised to take every single bill to cloture, which means hours of debate on each bill. She's actually, the bill that she's currently filibustering is a housing bill right now that doesn't, she's even said, "I'm not against this at all. I'm going to make this one last forever so that we don't even get to the next one," which is the bill against gender affirming care for trans people. What did she say? She said, "If you want to inflict pain upon our children, I'm going to inflict pain upon this body, and I have nothing but time, and I'm going to use all of it. I will burn the session to the ground over this bill," which is exactly the energy I like seeing brought to this type of thing. So she made it to the end of the week and picked it back up on Tuesday, even though she is battling strep throat at the moment. Yeah.
Way to use your platform for good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even a platform. It's like, that's what you're elected to do. And I know, like, she shouldn't have to do this, but I think it's incredible that she's stepping up because filibustering is a lot of hard work. It's literally you get up there, you're on a microphone, you just have to keep talking and talking and talking and keep the conversation going so that the bill can never come to a vote.
Right. Keep the conversation going. Use your power for good.
Yeah.
Way to go, Omaha. There are good people out there.
Yeah.
They're not all George Santoses.
She said, if this legislation collectively decides that legislating hate against children is our priority, then I'm going to make it painful for everyone.
Aw.
Yeah.
Contributing to her campaign.
Yeah,
Buy a
right?
T-shirt.
Next is a little more lighthearted. I don't know if anyone caught the BAFTAs, and if you did, it's probably the first time you've caught the BAFTAs in many years.
Do the move.
Oh. So, Ariana DeBose didn't host, but she did do the opening number of the BAFTAs, and it quickly went viral. What'd you say? Right. She performed two different numbers.
It was handography.
Right.
This thing was doing something while she was hitting notes.
So her number was a tribute to the nominated women, including parodies of Sisters Doing It for Themselves and also We Are Family. And in between those two numbers, she performed of like do you know in the bridge of Vogue where they like list all the names? She kind of took that as inspiration and used that to call out all of the female nominees that night. And the most iconic line was Angela Bassett did the thing, Viola Davis, my woman king. That line has quickly gone viral, which is when she did that dance move.
Angela Bassett did the thing.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. So it went viral almost immediately. A lot of people calling it cringe, and another thing that went viral along with it was the reaction faces of the people in the crowd that were being called out. It was a lot of like blank stares, confusion. Honestly though, if they cut to a single queer person, it would have been entirely different. They would have been like, yeah!
Cut to everyone at home watching.
Yeah, exactly. And she ended up deleting her Twitter account in response to this. I think she was having a hard time with the criticism at first because I'm sure it just felt like heaping amounts of negative criticism. But then once people kind of came around to like the joy in it and the camp in it, I think people started celebrating a little more. Like Evan Ross Katz posted the clip. He posted the reaction shots of people, and she actually commented, honestly, I love this. So
just turn to gay Twitter.
Yeah,
Ariana
honestly,
DeBose.
Yeah.
Also, Angela Bassett reached out and called her.
Did she?
To make sure she was all right.
That's
she was
cute.
like, that was beautiful and I loved it. I'm sorry about all this backlash you're getting.
Yeah.
And then when Angela Bassett won her NAACP award, she was like, I did the thing.
Yeah.
Like quoted her in the acceptance speech.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's officially in like the canon of like camp ridiculous award show moments. Like the other, what is it, like the Snow White Rob Lowe thing?
Oof. No, that was only cringe. Nobody, that was irredeemable.
Even the gays couldn't get on board?
The gays weren't out of the closet yet when that happened. There was no gay Twitter. There was nothing. Like gay people at Julius watching it on a TV being like, ooh.
Oh my God. We reported last year that Rebel Wilson came out. You probably know her from like Pitch Perfect. What else has she been in?
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids,
the
obviously.
scene where she pours the frozen peas on her back, permanently etched into my brain.
Oh my God. But this past June, she came out as a lesbian, and then she's had a really big year. In November, she had her first baby by surrogate, and then this past month, she announced that she was engaged to her partner. All of it seems to be Disney themed. When she came out, her coming out post was, I thought I was searching for a Disney prince, but maybe what I really needed all this time was a Disney princess. Her engagement photo shoot, right. I think the same, Mark's doing this, which, yeah. So her engagement photo shoot was at Disneyland, and she also was like, and a big thank you to at Disney Weddings for creating this moment for us. So
Disney's paid for her wedding?
get that money, girl.
Go ahead, Rebel.
Yeah, also like
Not much of a rebel anymore, is she?
right. But Florida's a contentious state when it comes to laws around gay rights, and I think having Disney do something like this is hopefully them going to be more loud about supporting queer people in the state of Florida.
Right. I mean, yeah.
At least the ones with money.
Right.
Instagram followers.
Yeah, but congratulations on your engagement. She got engaged to jewelry designer Ramona Agruma. Speaking of award shows, a lot of this is award show based, but this past Grammys was super exciting.
Yeah.
What are you cringing?
Just Harry Styles beating Beyonce for album of the year.
Yeah, I guess we haven't talked about that. That is not a slay.
Look. No, go ahead. Do what you were going to do.
I know, we could talk about Beyonce real quick. Beyonce is the most awarded person of all time at the Grammys, but which seems really great, but then when you really look into it, it's actually like, my take on it is that it's clearly racist. She's lost Album of the Year 4 times when I would say at least 2 of those albums, in my opinion, are 2 of the best albums ever.
Lemonade
and her self-titled. This last album, I didn't love it. It's incredible, but I didn't resonate with me. And when you look, she's won upwards of 30 Grammys, and she's only beat white artists 7 times out of her 30 plus Grammys.
Yeah. I mean,
It's gotta be, that's racist. It's gotta be. But the slay of the Grammys was Kim Petras became the first openly transgender woman to win for Best Pop Duo or Group Performance. She won it alongside a non-binary person, Sam Smith. It was their 4th Grammy and Kim Petras' first. So let's see.
That Unholy performance was fire. It was ridiculous.
Right.
The fact that so many people got so mad about it, people be like, they're devil worshippers. And I'm like, the song is called Unholy.
Right.
He has a red hat on with horns on it.
But also when you look back historically at the Grammys and performances like that, like there's like a common understanding that Nicki Minaj was blacklisted from the Grammys from a very similar performance. She performed, was it Roman's Revenge? Roman Holiday was her first Grammy performance, and it was very had a lot of Catholic and Christian imagery, and the general understanding is that's the reason Nicki Minaj has never won a Grammy. Was because of that performance. Like, she was kind of blacklisted.
I mean, that's more of like a MTV VMA, keep that stuff on MTV is how the Grammy people, I think, feel about it.
Totally.
Roll around on the floor, Madonna, on MTV.
But they arrived on the red carpet with an entourage that included Gottmik and Violet Chachki, 2 iconic drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, who have also performed on the Town Hall stage right here in Provincetown. That song Unholy was a -- hit this past fall, which also made history as the first non-binary and trans person to have a #1 hit on the Hot 100. When they got up to accept their award, Sam Smith had asked Kim Petras to accept the award because Sam Smith has won Grammys already, and he just wanted to they just wanted Kim to really have that moment. She thanked transgendered legends before her who kicked these doors open for her so that she could be there tonight. She also thanked her late friend and producer Sophie, who she said that when they first were in the recording studio years ago, Sophie was like, "You're gonna win a Grammy." So that was really exciting. She also thanked Madonna. She said, "I don't think I could be here without Madonna," referring to her outspoken activism for queer rights and queer art. So I was shocked. I thought that Kim Petras would have been the first out trans person to win a Grammy, but the first trans person to win a Grammy was actually in 1970. It was Wendy Carlos. She won 3 Grammys in 1970. She's considered a pioneer of electronic music and also helped develop the Moog synthesizer, which was the first commercially available synthesizer. And what she won all those Grammys for is actually really cool. She created an album using that synthesizer, and she created Bach tracks. Bach, like the composer. All using that synthesizer. So it was called Switched on Bach. It won. It was the second classical album to go platinum, and she won the Grammy for Best Classical Performance, Best Classical Album, and also Best Engineered Classical Recording. She also composed the score for Clockwork Orange, The Shining, and wrote the Tron soundtrack, which is impressive. Yeah. Good work. Next, you, I'm sure, watched Oriana at the Super Bowl. What'd you think?
It's all right.
That pregnant woman was not doing enough for Bob.
I mean, the staging was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the technological aspects of what we watched, I thought was mind blowing.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I kind of agree that she was a little, like laid back about it, but I feel like that's Rihanna.
Yeah.
She could have gotten up there, smoked a blunt while like sitting in a lounge chair and have been like, yes!
It was fine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, go back to your favorite Super Bowl halftime performances,
Yeah.
and it's like
The
here.
most. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. When you look back at like what Beyonce, Lady Gaga jumped off the roof.
Right.
Like,
And I mean, she committed to this probably before she knew she was pregnant. She did it anyway, even after she found out and was so pregnant. So, you know,
Yeah.
cheers to that.
there's people speculating that the theme, so it was like all these wild platforms that moved around, and she was wearing like kind of an oversized red coat, and then all of her backup dancers were wearing like these like white puffy outfits. And there's a lot of people speculating that it was imagery and symbolism of her being the egg, and then all these white dancers in white being sperm. And if you watch it, they're like always like kind of like behind her, like creeping up on her. So that'd be fun. So it was a 13-minute set where she had, I think 14 of her hits. It's like, people are going to be upset about songs being excluded just because it's...
I was.
But like, how could you put, like, it's her 17 years of her music career. She has more number one hits than anyone.
No.
The Beatles?
And Mariah.
And Mariah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, the third most number one hits. So, like, there's a lot to get in there.
Yeah.
She had turned down offers in the past to perform, citing the fact that the NFL blacklisted Colin Kaepernick for his protests. Yeah. My favorite moment of the whole thing was when she went to one of the backup dancers and they opened the little compact and she, like, patted up her skin.
Yeah.
That was the Fenty Beauty Invisimatte blotting powder, if you're
We need
interested.
that. And thanks to these new lights.
Yeah, we might need
listen,
some of
Rihanna,
that.
we need some sponsorship.
Yeah, send us some.
Send us some makeup.
Thanks, Riri.
My favorite part of the performance was before it happened, when one of the Jenners or Kardashians tweeted, "If you please do this one song because it's my favorite. I'll be really upset if you don't." And she goes, "Then don't come."
Was that real?
I think
Oh
so.
my God. I think that was from the past, not the Super Bowl, though, right? Was it?
Yeah, it's from whatever I just showed.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
She's like, I'm gonna be so
Thank
mad
you.
if Rihanna doesn't do this number, and they're just like, then don't come.
That's the attitude
We
we
stand a
love.
queen. Okay, a couple more. Over the past month, The Sim. If you're a big computer gamer, The Sims released an update for The Sims 4, and what was notable about this update is they included features for transgender characters, and so the avatars that in The Sims can now display top surgery scars, binders, and other shapewear used by trans people. The game maker Electronic Arts wanted to send an inclusive message to their numerous trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming players.
Wow.
Obviously, which completed her EGOT status. She's the 18th person in history to achieve EGOT status. In 2015, she became the first person of color to win an Emmy for Best Lead Actress in a Drama for How to Get Away with Murder. A year later, she won Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her cinematic adaptation of the play Fences. And Fences is also what she won a Tony for the stage version of that. She's the fourth black performer to win after Whoopi, John Legend, and J. Hud, which are all fairly recently. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. I saved this one for last because I think it's the most exciting.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So I think this show premiered right around the last time that we were on air, maybe just after, but if you're not watching, you should definitely start watching The Last of Us. I think there's 2 more episodes to air, one this Sunday and one next weekend, which will finish off the season, but I obviously started watching because I love zombie stuff. I love sci-fi, I love zombie stuff, but as soon as I started watching, I realized that it was going to be a really great representation of that genre. They do a really good job of not making it just like gory slasher horror, and they really add a lot of humanity into
There's
it.
entire episodes with 0 infected. Have you noticed that?
Which
There have been.
Which
like
ones?
5 or 6, I think. Like in the middle. Like after
Oh.
were there I don't think there were any in the Murray episode.
Yes, there was.
Those were just other humans trying to get in.
There was the one who walked up and then got caught in the trap.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But the episode that I fully fell in love with the show was episode 3. It was called A Long, Long Time, and it featured our friend Murray Bartlett, and it was incredible. I think I cried so much while watching it, and then like for days after, every time I would think about it, I would get really sad.
Really?
Yeah. It was just so beautiful. It was a really beautiful story, and like they like I said, they do a really good job of humanizing the stories, where it's like what are the things that people would go through in this new world, even with that. Obviously there's fear and terror of this thing coming, this zombie, this infection, but then just like how people move forward with their lives. And the episode is beautiful. I think they're both going to get nominated for Emmys.
I do too. Nick Offerman was incredible.
I think Nick Offerman will win though.
I do too.
So incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good. Heartrending.
It was one of my favorite episodes of television I've ever watched. And one thing I noticed about the show is there's not a single white straight couple.
Yes.
Who?
The protagonist.
He's
He
Hispanic.
was with a woman.
Yeah,
But his
he's
daughter
Hispanic.
was like half black. Right?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, most of those people are dead. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, every episode there's a very traumatic death.
Oh,
every
yeah,
episode
it gets real.
You're never, anytime they introduce a character, buckle up because they're about to die a horrific death.
Yeah. Fall in love with no one.
Yeah. The funny thing about that episode is, like I said, it was one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the best episodes of television I've ever watched. It really affected me and hit home. But if you go to the IMDb rankings, it is ranked one of the lowest in the series, which seems odd. But then if you look at the breakdown, let me see, I wrote them down. 54% of the ratings were a 10 out of 10, and then it kind of trickles down as it goes down. And then 26% of the ratings were 1 out of 10 stars. And people are saying it's most clearly and obviously just people rating it low because it was centered around a gay couple. Yeah.
So almost a third of the people who were willing to spend time to rate that episode gave it a 1 out of 10.
So many of them are like, it's just because it's not true to the game. And it's like, did you think this was going to be a shot? I mean, they are doing a lot of shot for shots of scenes from the game, but they obviously have to take liberties in order to make it an entertaining, thoughtful show.
It's a TV show. It's not a video game anymore.
Yeah. And unfortunately for those people, there's then again an episode later that centers around a queer couple.
And that was pretty lowly rated as well, eh?
Also lowly rated. But I kind like that wasn't as good an episode. Not that it was a bad episode by any means, but it just wasn't as good of an episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that Murray episode, like, before I even started watching, I was way behind on it. Everybody had seen it before me, and people were messaging me from like 25 years ago being like, this is one of the greatest. I was like, there's no way that it's going to live up to what all of these people have been saying. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, spoiler alert, they've killed Murray and everything.
Yeah.
White Lotus, Chippendales,
Yeah.
Last of Us. Can he just live?
No.
Please.
Yeah.
I want him to live.
So those were our 10 slays while we were away. Yeah. Okay, so do we want to chat with Oriana for a bit?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. Take it away, Andrew. Good morning, everybody. I'm at the East End Market with Oriana, the proprietor who has been closed since the storm on December 23rd. Thanks for letting us in and making a little time to come talk to us. This is a lot. How's it going?
It's kind of starting to come together. We have floors and walls again, which is very, very exciting. At this point, I kind of feel like if I can get through that, I can do anything. So, yeah.
Can you take us back to December 23rd? Like, were you here when it was happening?
Oh, so no, this is kind of embarrassing. I have a standing nail appointment. It is one of the luxuries that I really, I need to treat myself. You know what? It's good for my mental health. So I'm there across from Town Hall. I'm like, oh, if Town Hall's not flooding, The market's fine. I don't have to worry about anything. I get my nails done. They looked great. Thank you, Jerry. Hair by the sea. But anyway, so then I go home. I can't get up my staircase because that started to flood, and I live in the West End. And then I come back to the market, and immediately, like as I'm coming down the street, people start calling me, and they're like, "Oh, there's water coming up through the floors." So I run down here. I actually got stopped at the top of the street. They were like, "Oh, you can't go in there." And I was like, "I'm fucking going in there."
Right.
Can I swear on this show? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
But so I ran into here. I put on my waders. I climb in. And there was literally probably about this much water in here. Like everyone thinks that all the water like came in through the front of the store. It's actually, the water table was saturated. So it started rising up. And that's when everyone really started panicking. So then we started, evacuating. I started like trying to save all the cheese because I love cheese. And then the fire chief was like, "You really can't be in there anymore. Like you could get electrocuted."
Right.
So I finally was dragged out.
Like cheese and arm.
I wish I had brought the cheese.
No, because I mean, our friend Quinn, who lives right down the street, he was like art and shoes. So I'm like, what was the first thing?
Yeah, no, it was cheese.
Yeah.
You don't know until you're in that situation, and mine was cheese.
And I mean, after that day, you probably were thinking, what? Like, when is this going to be over?
Yeah, so I finally cried a few hours later. So I had my car parked up at the top of Howland and just sat here watching it flood. Because I was like, oh, the tide's going to go out.
Yeah.
It never went out.
And then we came and actually looked. And I was just like, it was hard. Like, I wouldn't have been able to deal with it. Like, this is so much that I would have been crippled by it. I wouldn't have known where to start. And I'm just,
I didn't. But everyone in this town was so amazing. And, like, immediately just, like, people came down. Like, they just wanted to help. Even, like, when I couldn't let them into the building yet because we were still flooding.
Right.
So I would have lost my mind a long time ago if it wasn't for how amazing people are in this town. And I want to thank everyone for that.
Support network of
Yes.
friends and colleagues.
No, everyone's been very amazing.
And you think that you might be ready in a little over a week?
A little over a week. So we have floors and we have walls. And that's the first step.
Right.
But I still have to get everything approved, like building and health. And hopefully sooner rather than later, because I'm going stir crazy.
But actually, a week from now is when this is airing, so really 3 days from when you guys are watching this, or maybe the day after, or the day after.
Come here.
Yeah, come here as soon as you can in early March and visit Ori and her team and buy some stuff. And also, fortunately, there was a GoFundMe that helped you pay your employees.
Yeah, no, without the GoFundMe, because we didn't have any loss of business insurance, like people can collect unemployment, but that's not going to come through for weeks and weeks. And thanks to the GoFundMe, we were able to pay everyone like what they were making every week up until this week is when we ran out of money. And that really, really helped because it's the worst time of year to, lose your job.
Absolutely.
And everyone is able to come back. So I'm very grateful for that and for this town.
And it is still live. Like, people can still donate to this GoFundMe. Even after the store opens, I feel like there's a lot of stuff to pay for still. Like, insurance is coming through, hopefully.
Yeah, insurance is hopefully coming through any day now. That's what I keep hearing. It's kind of been a nightmare, and I've learned a lot. If anyone has any questions, I feel like I'm now an insurance expert because nobody wants to help you.
Right.
But
yeah, they're in the business of like taking our money but never paying any of it out.
Yeah, and also I think that like our insurance companies here aren't like prepared for such a disaster.
Right.
So like they haven't been dealing with a lot of flood claims all at once. And I think we all can learn from that.
And I know you already have like a ton on your plate, but just one more question for you. A possible potential second run for select board at some distant point in the future.
Okay, not this year. Not this year. I don't have time to run a campaign. But no, I will absolutely run again. Okay. I love this town.
And the town loves you
I
too.
love this town.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see you soon. Everybody get in here the first week of March. Yay! So get in there as soon as she's open. It's going to be in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I feel the best way to find out is probably, I'm sure they'll post on Community Space or, so
And now that we all know for a fact that Ori loves cheese the most, go right to that cheese fridge because you know there's going to be some amazing stuff in there.
yeah, definitely. Okay. Please give it up for João Santos. He just released his new double song EP, Close Your Eyes, and he is here to perform one of those songs for you now. Take it away, João.
Hi everybody, this is Ochotero. Don't hold me tight, don't look at me like that, and now with those blue eyes, the devil in disguise. Don't show me you want me like I want you to. Don't say the things I want to hear.
Don't call me.
It makes me feel you'll disappear. So daddy, don't you smile, don't wink at me that way, don't sit me on your lap. You know better than that, don't make me crave, don't instigate me when I do, don't bring me to your lap, don't make me feel home there, even though I want you to. Daddy, don't you dare. No, 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 no. No, don't tell me about your past. Now when you know I'm impressed, yeah. Your steps are ones I once longed for. And now I sing to you in metaphors. So daddy, don't you smile, don't wink at me that way, don't sit me on your lap. You know better than that, don't make me crave, don't instigate me when I do, don't bring me to your lap, don't make me feel home there. And where would I go if you and I know my own hands could carry me there? It's easy to see there's no you and me. You don't even know who I am. Oh, so I'm letting go. Your charm can just float over me. Thank you boys.
I love that one.
Zubad.
Is it-
Let's talk about Daddy's Bob. I love Zubad.
Is that on all streaming services?
That is on
Spotify?
all streaming services.
Like-
Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah.
All the other ones.
The EP is called Close Your Eyes. That was Don't You Dare. It also has Partners in Crime on it, which is my personal favorite João Santos song. And
I think that might be my personal
Yeah,
favorite
it's
João
great.
Santos song.
I know. I just learned the song for Partners in Crime. I've been calling it the car song since João wrote it. But I learned the name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you learned to sing it.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been listening to it quite some time.
It's your new audition song.
That's perfect. Okay. Now we have some local news.
Lots of local news.
Over this past week, Mark Cortali announced his upcoming season. Some really exciting names on the list. Ones that really excited me. There's a lot of Drag Race girls: Miss Cracker, Ginger Minge, Nina West, Jujubee, Monet Exchange, who I think is a new addition to the prom. I think a lot of the girls have been to Provincetown before, but I don't think Monet Exchange has. So I'm super excited for that. Alaska was on the list. Also, tons of Broadway performers. Jeremy Jordan stood out to me. I love him. Yeah.
Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah, you know
Who is
him. Did you see the last 5 years of the movie?
No.
Okay.
Newsies. He was in the Newsies movie?
No, the musical.
Oh my, that's 30 years old.
Did you watch Smash?
No.
Okay.
I just don't know this person.
He's amazing.
Okay.
Go to Mark Cortali's Facebook page to check out the full roster, and also scoop up ticks when they're available. Yeah. Let's see. There was news from the Old Reliable Fish House this past week.
Yeah.
So developer Christine Barker secured a special permit from the planning board on February 23rd for the 31-room hotel, restaurant, bar, and residential condo project. So she committed to building or buying a one-bedroom unit of affordable or community housing at an off-site location that's going to be similar in square footage to the 4 market-rate condos that will be at the Old Reliable Fish House property. She's using an inclusionary bylaw and incentive bylaw to get that 60-foot height. So it's going to be tall. Some people are upset about having that tall of a building on the waterfront. I understand their sentiment. I'm excited to have that be a usable space. Maybe I would want it to be affordable housing, but
I mean,
what are you going to do?
Yeah. Nobody's going to build affordable housing right on the water. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's get real, you guys.
In the Provincetown Independent article they read, Patrick is arguing that the bylaw is being used in a way that it was not intended to by town voters. He's saying that the bylaw was intended to be used for residential projects, but this isn't specifically a residential product. It's partly residential. So we'll see where this goes.
I did see Patrick not too long ago, and he did say the barracks is coming along nicely. So that is one good mark on the side of workforce housing.
That's great. That's really great.
And, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I'm going to wait till next week. Never mind. But it's about some more workforce housing. I don't know if it's public knowledge yet, and I don't know if the person wants me to say it.
Great, though. I love to hear that.
It's going to be great.
Things are in the works.
Things are in the works. Things are happening that we're all going to know about very soon that are very good.
Yeah. There was another
a teaser for next Friday.
Jesus. There was another incident that happened in town this week that a ton of people have been talking about. So just after noon this past Tuesday, the town's Twitter account posted that they had an active barricade situation near the Coast Guard station on Commercial Street. Hours later, there was a man who was taken into custody around 7 p.m. and he went to the hospital for a mental evaluation. According to recordings of police scanner, the man was expressing suicidal idealization and was in possession of a weapon. And police and SWAT were present at the scene from as far as Bourne.
If you were on Route 6 that day, it seemed like every cop car in the state was coming this way. According to the Independent, there were 30 SWAT members. Damn. It was a major response, big. fortunately, everybody involved made it out of there safely. And if you have, we're always telling you to get a subscription to The Independent. It's on page 9 of Thursday's Independent. They obviously didn't have a lot of time to work on this because it had just happened on Tuesday.
I think they typically go to press on Tuesdays.
Yeah, so they got as much information as they could. We obviously know a little bit more now than we did then, but I think the best part of this article is the very last couple of paragraphs where they talk to Senator Julian Cyr, who says, we need mental health services on the Outer Cape, not just here. Every place pretty much in America is having a dearth of mental health services available to their local communities. And nowhere, I don't know if any mental health professionals were on the site that day. It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't say so in here, and from everybody involved that I know, it doesn't seem like anybody like that was there that day. And I think that's kind of important.
Yeah.
You know? And I have friends who are in nursing school who are like working towards mental health degrees, and they're like, I feel like I want to move to Provincetown and be a mental health professional in an area like that needs it so desperately. Like, we don't have any. And I mean, this might be something to think about for town meeting. Like, you know, we create this Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion because there's the political will to create something like that. Like, do the voters have to vote to create a position of like mental health services that
We funded it 2 years ago, but then the health department didn't follow through because she moved on.
Oh.
And so it was put on
like
hold.
the transition.
It was a regional thing, yeah. So
Yeah.
we actually voted to do that.
So we have as a town voted before to do this. It hasn't happened yet. It needs to happen. Like that has to happen.
Yeah. My takeaway from the whole thing, like, obviously an incredibly unfortunate situation. I'm so grateful that everyone involved is safe. But I, like many other people, were following Community Space to try to see what was going on. And once again, Community Space proved to be a hellhole. Yeah, I don't know if it's... Obviously, Provincetown Community Space, I think it has like 12,000 members. This town has about 4,500, population of 4,500. So obviously, there's people who are part of the community in many different ways. And I don't know for a fact, but I wonder if it's because so many people are on Community Space who don't live here. They might live in New York. They might come here to visit. They might have a place here. But the way people spoke about it was really disheartening. They spoke, like, as I was watching this, I was like, there's a good chance this is going to be someone I know and care about and interact with constantly. And then meanwhile, there's endless comments of people making jokes and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, like, so many people think Community Space and Serious Things are like their opportunity to try out their like fucking stand-up routine. And then when people are like, you know, this probably isn't the best time to make light of the situation, and people are like, lighten up a little. It's like, no, you shut the fuck up a little.
Yeah, this was a real
great.
hostage situation.
Right.
There wasn't anything funny about it.
Yeah.
I will admit, before I knew where it was, I made a joke, but like not on a Community Space. I just texted somebody.
Yeah.
But I thought it was, also this is the thing about the Community Space too, there was like a good long part of the day where people were like, it's this house,
Right.
which was like a couple doors down from where it really happened. And you know, it's not a good time to make a joke. Some people, you know, did.
And also, like, as people were posting things about it as fact.
Right.
Which is like, you can't, and then it was like, there's the only thing that's official that stated was what I had said. Where did it say? Police scanner recording said that the person was expressing suicidal idealization and was possession of a weapon, which quickly was like, oh my god, he has a gun. There's guns,
right.
and that makes people feel unsafe. It also demonizes this person to an extent which is unfair.
Right.
And it's just not. I don't know what to do.
I mean, there's going to be gossip. There was, I mean, I got probably 800 text messages that day from different groups of people being like, is it this house? Is it that house? Are they in? Are they out? But, you know, like everybody was just speculating. It was super speculative kind of the whole time. And one part that really bothered me about the media response is that the before the paper came out, even Tuesday afternoon, like the first headline that you saw online, I want to say like Cape Wide News or whatever that website is, it was like, person on hallucinogenics holds somebody hostage. I'm like, people are microdosing mushrooms or psilocybin for medicinal and mental health purposes. Like, let's not demonize taking a tincture of mushrooms, okay? Because I macrodose mushrooms, and it's fine.
And also, like, once again, unsubstantiated. Like, you can't get on and you can't get on a space like communities. It's one thing to like be on a small group chat with your friends and be like, oh, is it this? Is it that? You're not putting information out into the world that is going to harm people.
Right.
But if you go on community space and you see, oh my God, there's a huge SWAT response and police, it's a mental health crisis, and you're like, I'm going to post a GIF of someone eating popcorn.
Right.
Like, log off. Log the fuck off.
Work on your type 5 in a private text with a friend of yours.
Exactly.
Like, spare the community space unfunny jokes about unfunny topics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Another thing that's good. That's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. One thing I did over the past month that I didn't get a chance to talk about, I performed at the Valentine's Day Follies at the Crown. I think we have a cute picture of me.
Oh.
That's really all I wanted to say, so we could put this cute picture of me up.
How was the Valentine's Follies?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Heather was there, who I've met a few times through like Jonathan, mostly virtually, so it was really fun to hear her sing live for the first time. Incredible. Her husband, incredible. They brought the house down. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, some of my favorite moments in Provincetown over the last 8 years I've lived here have been backstage at events with all the performers hanging out, having a good time. So it was an incredible show. Be sure to, all these like shows where it's like just like a big group of talent from town are always my favorite shows. Be sure to check them out when those come around.
There's another one coming around tomorrow and Sunday. Oh yeah, like what's going on this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
This is something that happened that while we were gone, somebody was like, oh, I heard that it's snowbound this weekend. And I was like, if we were doing our show, I would know that. I would know what weekend this is.
We'd have a guest on.
I completely didn't know what was happening for the last couple of weekends, and I was like pleasantly surprised by everything.
Snowbound was packed and fun.
Super busy.
I heard
is that also President's Day weekend? I think it was like a double whammy.
I think that was the weekend before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
We had a couple of super busy weekends in a row here. It's been a really, really fun time to be in Provincetown. Next week is Out of Hibernation. This weekend is once again the 24-hour play festival at the theater. I am one of the 7 writers, so I will be writing all night tonight. The plays will be performed tomorrow at 7:30 at the theater, and Sunday, I want to say the matinee is at 2 or 2:30, but you can get tickets online. Go to the provincetowntheater.org website to get tickets to tomorrow's performance. It's always a fun time, and like you said, it's very community-oriented. You're going to see every local actor and writer and director you know at the theater this weekend working on something that happens in 24 hours.
It's wild.
It's really fun. Did you go to the last one that I wrote?
I couldn't make it.
It was really, really fun. It's been a good time every time I participated. It's one of my favorite projects that the theater does, especially in the winter.
Was it Valentine's Day weekend last year? Because I feel like I was in a show at the Crown, which is why I couldn't go.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
But also one more thing before we let you go, and before I know
I've
you
got
have
like 2 or 3 more
Okay,
things.
great.
So
I just want to say thank you to everybody that was here at the Provincetown Brewing Company on Wednesday night for the Thai food pop-up that we put together. We served over 80 people, and the room was just full of love and happiness and good food smells and community vibes, and it warms my soul, and I just wanted to express some gratitude to everybody that participated, especially the people that paid for a dinner but didn't come. Like, there were a couple of friends of mine in New York who were like, we just want to support what you're doing, we're not even in town. And so my new business model is getting paid to not make people dinner. So if you want to participate in that, my Venmo, no, just kidding. But thank you, everybody.
Jesus. Also, speaking of fun community events, tomorrow night after the play festival, head on over to Grotto Bar. It's Mikey LaBruna's last pop-up, his cocktail pop-up, but it's also a joint birthday celebration for our favorite producer, Andrew Haig.
Is your birthday actually tomorrow?
Sunday.
His birthday is Sunday, which means midnight tomorrow while everyone's dancing to your beats. We will be singing you happy birthday as well, right?
Yeah.
So come to the Grotto Bar tomorrow after the play.
Another thing I got up to, just really quick, because I want to put a cute picture up again. I can't remember if it happened before we went off the air in January, but my little sister had a little baby. His name is Nolan, and I finally made it down to Connecticut to give him a little squeeze.
And poop came out.
Andrew, did you put that picture up? Perfect. That's me with my first nephew or niece. His name is Nolan. He's adorable. Shout out to my sister and my brother-in-law Zach for surviving it. Yeah.
Surviving it?
Babies are hard.
Really?
Well, they're having a great time with it, but just being there for the afternoon I was there, I was like, it's feeding, it's sleeping, it's pooping, it's crying, it's all of it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's what Peter has to deal with.
Wow.
Just kidding. Okay, well, I guess all we have left is a little just like general wake-up news. If you haven't been into the brewery lately, come on in. We are now selling our lovely logo branded coffee mugs right here at the brewery. They are $15. You can also buy stickers of our logo right here at the brewery. I think we're gonna make them available online if people want that. If you want them to be available online, comment now. And I think we might be able to get them online on the brewery's shop.
And this is usually the part of the show where we would thank our sponsors, but we are lining up new sponsors for the year.
Yeah. So if you are What?
The email's on the screen.
Perfect. If you are a business and are interested in sponsoring Wake Up in Provincetown, shoot us an email at wakeupinptown@gmail.com and we will send you our sponsorship deck. We have been collecting sponsors as of late, and we have 3 lined up. We can say them, right?
Yeah.
So Shipwreck Lounge in the Brass Key is one of our top tier sponsors, as well as the boat slip. We chatted with Jill the other day, and we spoke a lot about the things that they've got coming up. Really exciting news from the boat slip this upcoming summer, and also the PBG is going to be our top tier sponsor. We're also working on a way of like community support that our viewers can support, and we'll get you details for that soon.
Yeah. Is that a show?
Yeah.
It is 10:01.
This weekend.
Oh, right. Also, there is this at the brewery tonight is Fag Out Fridays for, which is like show tunes night. There's also RuPaul's Drag Race viewing over at the Crown and Anchor with Mackenzie and Austin. Austin has his show Sundays at the Brew House.
Roast.
Yeah. This Sunday, see you next time right here at the brewery with Carmen and Sam. And then next weekend will be the last weekend the brewery's open for a little bit. They're closing down for most of the month of March, and then they will be back in the spring.
Yeah, so this upcoming Thursday will be our last trivia here for a month. And then I guess next Friday will be the last Fag Out Friday for a month as well.
João is tonight.
Yep. João is tonight at the piano bar at the dive bar at the Crown and Anchor.
Yeah, another fun packed weekend in Provincetown.
Wow. Awesome. We did it.
We did it.
We're back.
Ethan's yawning. It's time to go, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.
Yeah, thanks for waking up in P-Town.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring